Hi Aquarius, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your reading. This is your September reading. Just to let you know how this works now, I'm doing 4 readings per month per sign. So the 1st to the 15th of the month you'll receive your Gypsy Tarot Love Spread and also your Celtic Cross Spread. The 16th to the 3rd to the end of the month, you'll receive the same readings, Gypsy Spread, Gypsy Love and Celtic General. The generals can literally touch on any situation, okay? And I really wanted to do it that way because I just like doing, I like the instantaneousness, should I say, of the readings, of doing you know, the bi-weekly readings, okay? From September, you'll see me on screen for the Celtic crosses, okay? Because I like being on screen. I like communicating with the audience, interacting with you guys. So that's what I wanted to let you know. For your reading, my darlings, I am using the Witch's Tarot. And I'm also using your Romance Angels Oracle cards, okay? So, for advice. So, Universe Spirit, show me. What is the energies around Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs, Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs, Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs for the first 2 weeks in September? I only want to see their love lives. So I want to see the love lives of Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs, Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs, Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising signs, and their love lives. Show me. Alright, so we've shuffled the cards, Aquarius. We're going to split the deck into 3 and we're going to collect this back up. Right, let's have a look. So let's start laying the cards out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. And if the video buffers a little bit, I'm sorry, but the software that I use is Mavavi, and it seems to be playing up a little bit lately. So I do apologise if it sort of freezes on the video, which it's been doing quite a bit lately, affecting the speech on the video as well. Sorry about that, guys. 6, 7. There we go. This is one of my favourite decks. This is the Witch's Tarot. It's awesome. So let's have a look what's going on for you guys then. So what's going on around your mental and emotional, Aquarius? You've got, wow, the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel that the situation is some changes have come in. Now, I'm always reluctant with the Wheel of Fortune to say that this is a positive change, because the Wheel of Fortune can represent a change for good or bad. We can just say with this card, it might be that something unexpected came in, being the situation, because the Wheel of Fortune is all about, sometimes this is things that are out of our control. So this can also be something to do with your destiny. Because when the Wheel of Fortune spins, it's not you that's spinning it, it's the universe that's spinning it. It's the universe that has real control over this card. So it might be something unexpected, it might be something to do with your destiny, but it could also be Wheel of Fortune. Something has changed out of your control for good or bad. What's your mental and emotional around this situation? Wow, karma. Mentally, there's a rebirth going on for you guys. When you get karma, the karma card is judgment within the Rider-Waite Tarot. So there's judgment mentally and emotionally. Mentally, you're thinking judgment. Emotionally, you're feeling judgment as well. So you're feeling karma, and there's a certain rebirth and renewal that comes in with this. So I feel that mentally, it might be with the judgment card. It could be that you guys are feeling a sense of relief. When you get the judgment card stroke karma, it's about coming up for air. It's about breathing the air again. I feel that you guys mentally could be around this situation, could be mentally and emotionally. Well, we're looking at the mental application to this situation here. So judgment is a mental process. Well, it means about making decisions, because the judgment card also means that you're making a very big decision. So it might be mentally, there's a big decision going on within you. Emotionally, it could be that you're almost torn by it as well, by the judgment energy, because it is the need to make a judgment on a situation. However, for some of you, it will be there's a sense of rebirth and the sense of being able to breathe again, breathe the fresh air again as a result of whatever this change is, mentally and emotionally. Let's have a look at what the reason is for that, Aquarius. Well, you've got the Knight of Swords as being the reason. Interesting. It might be that something has come in here, and it's fast. Could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius individual, because when you get the Knight of Swords, it means something's come in and it's unexpected. Remember, the Knight of the similarities. Whenever I see cards that show similarities, I have to say Knight of Swords, Wheel of Fortune are both cards that represent unexpected changes. I think the situation is some unexpected changes come to you guys, and mentally and emotionally, it's giving you a sense of rebirth, a sense of renewal, a sense of freedom, release, I would say here, because of the Knight of Swords. This was something I feel that was unexpected. Whether it's a good unexpected surprise, I don't know. But this is something here. It could be a air sign individual came in. Could have been some information came in. It could also be that this was, because Knights represent changes, coming and goings of situations within the tarot. So this is something that came in unexpected. It could be based on a change, a person, information. Maybe it's an information card. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Also, the other thing could say is that the situation being the Wheel of Fortune, there's a change here. Around that, mentally and emotionally, you guys are feeling released. It could be, if it's represented by a Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords represents, especially when you get it in love situations, this is somebody who goes with their passion. So they're really quick to rush in, but then they're really quick to rush out. Some of you guys might be glad to get rid of someone. It depends. But the rebirth card of the Karma card here, Judgment, mentally for some of you guys there's a change being the situation. It might be, if we're looking at the mental and emotional, mentally it might be that you need to make a decision here. Emotionally, with the Judgment card, this is about releasing something. So it might be mentally and emotionally you're thinking to yourself, you know, I need to make a judgment because it will make me feel better. What's the reason for that? A Knight of Swords. Is this somebody who's aggressive, maybe in love? Is this somebody who's coming fast? Somebody who's a really fast talker? Remember, the swords represent communication and actions as well. Is this somebody that's really kind of pushing you really fast, moving fast in a relationship? I'm thinking about all those scenarios with this area here. It's very interesting, Aquarius. The root energy for this, oh sorry, not the root energy, the situation around your present situation is about love. You've got the Ace of Cups here. So for some of you guys, the situation might be about a relationship, a new relationship. For some of you guys, it might be something to do with feelings. The Ace of Cups is when you're developing feelings for someone. Ace of Cups also means being in love with someone. So that could be the situation going on here. But what's going on around the present concerning this? Well, Five of Pentacles. And when you get the Five of Pentacles, this is where there is distance. So it might be around a new relationship, around love, around a developing relationship, perhaps with that Ace of Pentacles. There's been some form of detachment, some form of distance between you and an individual. The Five of Pentacles often in terms of love, it can mean support, but usually that's in the Rider Waite, where you see two people, one person behind the other, somebody who's offering support. It can also be with, but on this card you don't see anyone. All you see is Five Pentacles on a tree that is basically, it's got no greenery on it. There's a lot of snow. There's a very cold feeling. So I feel that here, what some of you Aquarians are facing is a relationship. There's a situation is about love. However, around that love, there is distance, I feel, that you guys are experiencing with the Five of Pentacles. It's the situation with this card talks about a relationship that doesn't really have a foundation to prosper. It's very kind of weak, it's cold, it's distant, and it doesn't have the potential to bloom. What's the reason for the Five of Pentacles? Well, it's the Two of Cups. That's interesting. That should be the relation, because this is the relationship. The Two of Cups represents emotional connection, but that's the reason for why there is distance. It's not in the reverse though, which is interesting, because you've got two contra cards going on here. We can see that the Ace of Cups is the situation. This is about being in love, a new relationship, but around that there's emotional distance. The Five of Pentacles. Why is there emotional distance? Because of the Two of Cups. Is somebody else in another relationship? It doesn't show a third party situation, but nevertheless the reason for that emotional distance is because of the Two of Cups. So is somebody already seeing somebody else? Is somebody already in a very strong relationship here? Because you've got the situation being the Wheel of Fortune, Aquarius, in which mentally and emotionally there's a sense of renewal, rebirth going on here with the Knight of with the Karma card stroke Judgment, and that's based on the Knight of Swords. This might be about an unexpected change going on here, potentially, and it could be with you, because this could be Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. So this could be something to do with you. Knight of Swords. It could be something to do with your restlessness. Knight of Swords also means to be restless, angry, irritated. Interesting. Situations to do with a relationship, love. Ace of Cups, whether it's new, whether it's old, whatever it is, this is about love, pure love. But there's emotional distance around this because of the Two of Cups. Is there too much codependency in this relationship, for example? Because the Two of Cups is about two people who have a connection, but the distance is because of the connection. Or this could be somebody else's relationship. What's going on around your hopes and desires? The situation is about choices, Seven of Cups. So when you get the Seven of Cups, it's about having many options. It also, the situation can be about an illusion that somebody's got. So when you get the Seven of Cups, this is all about dreams. Having a lot of dreams, having a lot of fantasies. Seven of Cups can also mean temptations, but it can also mean the need to put things into order. In terms of the Seven of Cups in love, it usually is about having many options, many decisions to make. But what are the hopes around that? Well, the hopes are to choose a new direction, because I don't think that the hopes are to... This card can represent having the confidence to head in a new direction. It can also mean to be at a crossroads, but nobody hopes to be at a crossroads, so we can't use that as a hope. It could be the hope is to make a decision, though, because the Two of Wands is about a decision. So I feel that there are many choices. The situation is showing many choices some of you Aquarians have to make. And what is it about those decisions, about those options, those decisions that you need to make? Well, it might be that the hope is to make a decision around that, so to streamline it down, maybe, because around this situation, we've got the situation being many options you've got here, many choices to make. The hopes are to make a decision, I feel, to follow the path that is right for you with this Two of Wands. And what's the reason for that? Because of the Eight of Wands. Now, the Eight of Wands might be that somebody's shooting arrows of love at you, Aquarius, because the Eight of Wands is to do with feelings. So the hopes are to, you know, when you get the Eight of Wands, in terms of love, it means that it means new love. It's like the Ace of Cups in a way. This means new love, but it also means that the arrows of love are flying through the air. The Eight of Wands also means feelings, lots of feelings. So it might be that your hopes are to make a decision based on your feelings with the Eight of Wands. This also means communication. So it might be that there's lots of choices. The situation is showing lots of choices, decisions that need to be made by you guys, in which the hopes are to choose the right direction. Why is that? Because of the Eight of Wands. Is somebody coming back to you and talking a load of stuff? Because this is communication. Maybe somebody's contacting you here. You've got a choice that you need to make here. The situation is you guys needing to make a choice. Hopes are, well, around those choices, I need to make the best decision for myself. What is the best direction to go in? That's because of the Eight of Wands. Things might still be up in the air as well with the Eight of Wands concerning that. Let's have a look at what your expectations are concerning love. Well, the situation is around a King of Wands, Aquarius. Could be a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries individual. Doesn't have to be that. This is somebody who's very... they're very motivated. When it comes to love, some people want to say that this guy is committed. He's not always committed. He's in red, for goodness sake. This person goes with their passions a lot of the time. He's got a wand here. This is a very much a sexual predator sometimes, is the King of Wands. He'll have a wife or he'll be committed to someone, but he'll always be on the hunt. He's just one step up from that knight. So this is somebody who has a woman in every port sometimes, male or female. Okay, the situation could be about a great attraction around the expectations, but it's showing a face card, a court card. So I think that the situation's around either a fire sign or somebody who displays the traits of a King of Wands. This is somebody who's very strong in terms of their passion, and when they're really passionate about something, they will go for it. They won't hold back. But what are your expectations going on around this individual? Well, it might be to block that individual out with the Seven of Wands. And why would you want to block this individual out with the Seven of Wands? Right, because you're setting a few boundaries here with the Emperor, Aquarius. Alright, I think somebody's hurt you here. And I think it might be what's going on is there's been a change in the mental and emotional situation. Mentally and emotionally, how are you dealing with it? Well, the Karma card, there's a sense of rebirth. A sense of feeling renewal, feeling some form of freedom, feeling some form of release. It might be best based on a messenger, that Knight of Swords. Things are coming in. Things have come in here. And for some reason, this is making you feel good. So it must be that before, what we don't see is before what happened here, Aquarius. And I would probably think that before this, you guys, some of you guys, if you're recognizing this reading, you've been feeling down in the doldrums, because your rebirth and your release and your kind of, oh, I can breathe again, is based on this Knight of Swords energy. Something came in for you guys. Something has come in here. Okay? Something's come in which has made you feel like this. Situation is about love, but there's distance here with the Five of Pentacles. Why is that? Well, there's distance maybe in the connection that you have with the individual, because this is an emotional connection. So it might be telling me actually that this distance that you have is in terms of the both of the connecting to each other. I feel there's distance in an emotional connection going on here, because the Two of Cups is about an emotional connection. I feel that there is distance in an emotional connection between the both of you. All right? Because it's about love. What is it about love? It's about distance in this relationship, in love. So this is about feelings as well, the Ace of Cups. So it looks to me like the focus for the first 2 weeks of September, Aquarius, will be situation, love, feelings, I would say, with this Ace of Cups. But what is it going on around those feelings? Well, there's distanced feelings here. Why is that? Because it's based on the connection. There's distance in terms of an emotional connection going on. The focus is this for the first 2 weeks of September. Your hopes, well, the situation is that you guys got a lot of decisions to make here. But what is it you're hoping around those decisions? Well, you're hoping to make the best decision. The Two of Wands. You're hoping to go in the right direction. The direction that suits you best. Why is that? Because of the Eight of Wands. I feel that things are still up in the air here. And the Eight of Wands are probably this King of Wands feelings. The Eight of Wands often represents feelings that are very fast, you know. They're very, you know, this is somebody shooting arrows of love at you. So I feel that they're just looking at the reading. There's a sense of distrust around this individual for some of you guys. Because you know that there is an emotional disconnection going on here. This is a disconnected card. It's cold. It's aloof. It's distant. So there's an emotional disconnection going on here. And the situation around the hopes, well, the situation is you got choices, but your hopes are to make the right decision with that Two of Wands. Why is that? Because of the Eight of Wands. And I think that this is this person's feelings. Around the expectations, we see the person, the King of Wands. But your expectations around that person is to block that person out with the Seven of Wands. Why is that? Because you are setting some boundaries for yourself with the Emperor energy. All right? We could also look at it another way, that the expectations are, well, the situation is about a King of Wands. It might be that this person is expecting to fight for what he wants. He or she wants. Why is that? Is this something to do with their ego, the Emperor? What don't you know coming in, Aquarius? Well, the situation is around the High Priest. So the High Priest could represent something about a commitment going on here. So it might be that the situation is about a commitment. Usually in love, High Priest or the Hierophant is in the right way. It represents some form of a commitment. What is it you don't know about that commitment around that? Well, there's arguments going on. Five of Wands is arguments, conflict. So the situation about a commitment, there's arguments coming in. If this is somebody who's meant to be committed to you, yet they're messing around, what you'll find is the situation will be about the commitment, and there might be some form of distress, conflict, difficult energies, obstacles in that commitment. What's the reason for that? Because of the Six of Pentacles. This is a one-sided relationship. Six of Pentacles often references a one-sided relationship. One person is more invested than the other, or somebody is more invested in one thing than the other. So it's one-sided. Alright, it's imbalanced. This is an imbalanced relationship going on here. What's coming up in the immediate future for you guys? Well, the situation is around the Ten of Swords, and that's failure and betrayal. It's called the Lord of Ruin, Aquarius. But what's going on around that situation that you experience in the immediate future, the Fool? As a result of, well, what's going on around this? Why have we got the Ten of Swords? We've got the information coming through is the Fool. So what is it about this situation being the Ten of Swords? It's the Fool. I feel that the situation will be about some form of betrayal, but what is it about that betrayal? The Fool. This Fool lacks commitment with that Fool energy. And why is the Fool showing up? Because of the Six of Swords. This might be somebody who's changing their mind again. Six of Swords can often show up as changing your mind. If that's not the case, if you're not being betrayed here with the Ten of Swords being the situation, because Ten of Swords means being stabbed in the back, betrayed, and around that situation it's talking about a fool. This is often somebody who lacks commitment. Why are they lacking commitment? Because it might be that they're consistently changing their mind. This is about a change of direction. Swords represent the mind, so they might be changing their mind here. The other way to look at it is the situation is it's completely over, it's done, it's finished, Ten of Swords. Well, what is it about this thing being finished? There's a new start coming in for some of you guys, the Fool card. What is that start based on? It's actually just based on moving on, moving in another direction with the Six of Swords. And this would probably be you guys because you're Aquarius. The overall outcome shows the Queen of Pentacles. Could be a person coming in around you, male or female energies. Same as King of Wands can be male or female energies. But this is also a situation that speaks about looking at a situation from a very pragmatic, honest, common sense point of view. Okay, this isn't you, but the energy is saying that the situation will be about a Queen of Pentacles. Whether that's a person or whether that's how you're tackling the situation. What is it about this Queen of Pentacles that's the overall outcome? The Six of Cups. So for some of you guys it could be, and don't worry females, you know, not worry. What I'm saying is that females, if this is showing as a female, it can easily be a male, but just with more water energy around them, okay? So this is somebody kind, soft, nurturing, understanding, down to earth and honest. It could be around that Queen of Pentacles energy that some of you guys are finding. It's saying that the situation overall is going to be the Queen of Pentacles. Well, what is it about the Queen of Pentacles that you'll experience in the overall outcome? Might be a new relationship with some of you guys. It might be that you guys are focusing on your careers. You're focusing on your home. If you've got children, it might be that you're focusing on your children around that. Let's have a look at what the reason for the Six of Cups showing up is because of the Hanged Man. And I feel that this is about releasing something here. It's about letting it go. It's about surrendering to the situation. Alright, so let's go through the reading again. Love for the first 2 weeks of September for Aquarius. Well, there's a change that's come in. The situation is showing something unexpected. Mentally and emotionally, how are you responding to that? There's a sense of rebirth. There's a sense of feeling reborn, feeling re-energized with this karma energy, mentally and emotionally. What's the reason for that? It might be on some information you received. Somebody coming back in, maybe that Knight of Swords. The situation for the first 2 weeks, well, it's around the Ace of Cups, love, feelings. But around this love, there's been distance. There will be distance with the Five of Cups for some of you guys. Well, what's that distance based on? It's based on a shared connection. So this isn't a shared connection. The distance, for me, the connection is broken because the distance is based on the Two of Cups, which is a shared connection. So for me, the connection is kind of broken. It's very distant. There's an emotional disconnection going on here. Your hopes would be, because you've got some choices that you need to make. What are those choices based on? So the situation is showing some options, choices you need to make. Well, it's around the Two of Wands, and that is really, let's be honest, the Two of Wands can mean several things when it comes to love. It can mean a partnership. But because the two wands are so far apart, the Two of Cups are together, but the Two of Wands are so far apart, sometimes this is whether you proceed with a relationship or let it go. So it might be the hope is to make the best decision whether you stay within this relationship or let it go. And what's the reason for that? Is somebody sending messages to you? Are they contacting you again? There's been emotional distance here, but you know, is this person kind of intermittently sending messages again? And that's why you're needing to make a decision on the best direction to take. Stay with this thing or let it go. Around your expectations, well, a face card shows up, a court card, a King of Wands. Could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius individual. It might be that around this individual, you're expecting to block this person out. Why are you expecting to block this person out? Because of the Emperor. Is this person already married? Are they already a father, for example? Or is it simply a case of that you're setting up a few boundaries here, Aquarius? Could also be because the situation is about a King of Wands. Well, what is it about that? Well, it might be the King of Wands is trying to defend his honour here. Why is that? Because of the Emperor. He's got a little bit of a, what's the word can I use for the Emperor now? He's got a lot of pride, a lot of ego. You know, how dare you rebuke me? How dare you toss me out? I'm the one that needs to. So you might be dealing a little bit with a narcissist here. Hidden factors coming in. Well, the situation is about a commitment. What is it about that situation? The Five of Wands. It might be that there is a commitment involving many. Five of Wands, because of the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles shows a player energy. So it might be the commitment. Well, what is it about this commitment? It's involving many with the Five of Wands. You've got competitors, for example. Five of Wands shows competitors. So it could be with this Hierophant, what you don't see coming in, about your commitment with this individual. Well, what is it about that? There might be other competitors for this. Why is that? Because this person's a player. They're not just focusing on you, Aquarius. They're focusing on others. It can also be around this commitment. What we see is a lot of arguments coming in. A lot of tension with the Five of Wands. Why is that? Because it's a one-sided relationship. You're not getting enough. You're giving more than you're actually receiving with this Six of Pentacles energy. The immediate future for some of you guys, Aquarius, well, the Ten of Swords will be the order of the day. The situation for some of you guys, you might be feeling betrayed. Well, what is it about that betrayal? Perhaps somebody lacks commitment. The Fool shows a lack of commitment sometimes in a relationship. Why is that? Because of the Six of Swords. They might be looking in other areas in search of other things. They might also show a change of mind with that Six of Swords. Could also be if the situation is about failure overall, ruin of the situation overall. Around that is the Fool, and the Fool is about taking a fresh start. So this might be in your hands. You've got the Aquarius's swords in the back of the person. So this might be the situation where you're making the decision here, as we can see you've got here, to put the swords in the person's back, put the nail in the coffin. So this situation might be your decision, Aquarius. And what is it about that? Well, the Fool, you're going to go look for something else. You'll take your chances. Why is that? Because you've had a change of mind. You're deciding to move on. It's too much of a fuck up to deal with. The overall outcome, for some of you guys, the situation might be about an earth sign person. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Potentially male or female. If it's male, a lot of water energy going in there. But there's a lot of nurturing, a lot of common sense with this individual. Around that Queen of Pentacles, well, the situation, what is it about this Queen of Pentacles being the situation that you'll experience in the overall outcome? Well, it could be a connection with another individual. And what's the reason for that? Because of the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is just surrendering, letting something go. There's nothing you can do about it, just letting it go. For some of you guys with the Queen of Pentacles, it could be the situation is just spending a bit of time on your own, nurturing yourself, looking at the responsibilities, looking at the realism of the situation. And around that, for some of you guys, you might be single parents. It will be the need to focus on children, maybe, because the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who focuses on the home. She focuses on, you know, nature, children, that type of thing. So for some of you guys, it might be focusing on children. What is the reason for that? Because of the Hanged Man. It's not to say that you focus on your kids if you've got kids, Aquarius, because you're holding out for the individual, your hands are tied. But I get the feeling more than anything it's focusing on other people, maybe. Because with this Hanged Man, your hands are tied anyway. There's nothing you can do. And if there's nothing you can do in a situation, if you can't change a person, if you can't do anything about the person, then what's the point? Your hands are tied. It's out of your control. I get the impression here for some of you guys, there is somebody here that there has been emotional distance with. You're putting your boundaries up against this individual. I get the impression that this person, when they contact you, they entice you. They bring you into their bullshit. But it's not about you, it's about them. It's about what they want and not what you want, Aquarius. And I think that a light bulb goes on for some of you guys in the first 2 weeks of September, where you're saying, you know what, especially in the hidden factors coming in, you know, commitment. Well, it might be around this commitment. There's a commitment to other people. There's competition for that because this person's a bit of a player. Six of Pentacles shows a player, somebody who's not just focused on you, they're focused on other people. Or it's a squabble, one-sided relationship. You're investing more than you're actually getting back. And I think that you do wake up to that because this might just be your call, the Ten of Swords. If this is their call, then around that, this shows for me non-commitment. This person's had a change of mind, probably yet again. Alright, I do feel that some of you guys are putting a situation to bed. It's almost like you've given somebody many chances, but they've not, you know, they've not come up with the goods. Let's have a look at what your romance angels are showing here. Universe Spirit, what is the advice that you have for Aquarius? What's the advice that you have for Aquarius? What's the advice that you have for Aquarius for their love reading for September, the first 2 weeks of September 2017. What is the advice that you have for Aquarius? What is the advice that you have for Aquarius? What is the advice that you have for Aquarius for the first 2 weeks in September 2017 concerning love. Show me. There you go. Love yourself first. And that's also what the Queen of Pentacles is about. She really is. It says love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So this is about loving yourself first. And that's an awesome card. I love the way that the angel cards are bringing out such, you know, profound messages to the clients today, to the YouTube community that I'm reading for, because it's true. Love yourself first. And that is what the Queen of Pentacles does. In the upright. In the reverse, she's shallow, she's self-absorbed. In the upright, she wants to give, she wants to nurture, but she wants to nurture herself. And what she does is she looks at a situation and she says, in a very common sense, it's almost like it's very detached from the Queen of Cups energy. Queen of Cups energy is a great card for getting down to the nitty-gritty of how you feel emotionally, but you can still be very attached emotionally. You can still be emotionally invested. With the Queen of Pentacles, she's more about using common sense. In a way, she's like the Queen of Swords. She's not like Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is a great card if you're confident, if you're fearless, if you decided, fuck that, I'm going to go for something else, it's not worth it. But the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who really does invest in herself, because it's all about, well, what's good for me. So this is about nurturing. The situation could be about nurturing yourself. And around that, it might be you guys are spending time with family as well, with that Six of Cups and friends, doing nice, playful things, things that you enjoy doing. Going back to the past, going back to seeing family, that type of thing. Because of the Hanged Man, there's nothing you can do about the situation. You might as well release it. And this is why. And also, this is about, I feel, taking another view, another perspective on the situation. This is about holding back and reevaluating everything with this Hanged Man. And this is why the universe is telling you to love yourself first. Put yourself first, Aquarius, in anything. If somebody's not giving love to you, and they're coming in and out, and they're doing a repetitive thing time and time again, what's the point? The whole point is to love yourself first, because when you love yourself first, that's when you're going to attract in the right person for you. That is your love reading, Aquarius, for the first 2 weeks of September. I would like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and I will see you guys really soon. Love ya.